Hey, 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 yo, everybody. How is everybody this evening, this morning, wherever you are? How is everything? Everything firing on all cylinders. Good, good. Okay, hey. Hey, Jay. Hey, Mike. How are y'all? How is everybody? Let's hope this fucking thing decides it wants to work tonight. Not entirely certain it does. Checking my connection, be sure. After the the horse shit pulled on me Wednesday, I'm just not 100% convinced that it's going to behave, but oh well. Hello, hello. Okay. Hopefully the stream doesn't lag and all that. God, that would suck if it did again. But if it does, there ain't a whole lot I can do about it. So I guess we'll just have to press on. So, what is everybody up to? Anything good happening? Hey, how are you, Dark X Glitch? How are you, man? Love watching these streams. Well, thank you, Pop Bob. If that is your real name. I don't know that I can believe that. Okay. So, what is everybody's musical preferences? I've conveniently tacked the poll up there. Did I see Tango's Patreon server? The first build tour was a replica of Space Valkyria 3. Yeah, I saw that a while ago. It was a different person who pointed it out. I'll have to see that later. What was Tango's reaction? Was he like flabbergasted or something? I hope he was. If I can impress somebody like Tango, hey, that's good. But, well, anyway. So, yeah, it's, musical discussion day. Love music. So, lately, I haven't really been into anything, you know, super out there or unique, really. I've retread a lot of old ground with, like, a lot of hits from the 90s. You know, being a 90s kid, it's to be expected. But, nothing too fantastical. Bro, don't get me started. 2BTT song by Troga Dude. Okay. I might have to look into that. Vaporwave and all of its subgenres, alternative stuff. Okay. Vaporwave seemed to me more fad-ish. I don't know. I know some people like it. But there's something about Vaporwave that it just... like, the gimmick has worn off on me. Like, it's all mystical and ethereal with a little bit of, like... how do I put this? Like, dude, I'm so high. That sort of aesthetic. That's the feel I get from it. I could be wrong. But at the same time, like... I get the feeling that you've seen one Vaporwave... or heard one Vaporwave song, you got a good idea what the rest of them are like. I'm sure that's not a terribly educated view on it, but... Oh well. But yeah, it's all going good otherwise. I've also, after a fairly long stint of not listening to them, I've gotten back into listening to Journey. I've always been a huge Journey fan, but something about it, I guess I listened to it a little too much for a while. They came to tour in the city, or near a city that I lived at back in 2017. And I went and saw them in person, in concert. They were amazing. And it just, after that, I was on a huge Journey binge for like a month. And then I burned myself out on it. It's unfortunate, but hey. Where do I live? I live in Mississippi, but I don't want to say precisely where or anything like that, for obvious reasons. But it's in the state of Mississippi in America, if you don't know where that is. But yeah, it's all, music sparks the fire in your soul if you have a soul. I hope you do. I can't remember how many hours I'd spent on 2B2T listening to various things, and like that's all I would do is I'd sit and I'd build and I'd listen, and it would just be music for hours on end. Oh man, those were the days, were they not? Pop Bob might coordinate exploit me real life. Oh well. More power to him if he does. I'm sure someone probably would. Eventually. But I don't really care. Like, I'm one of the few people from 2B2T that if you figured out where I lived and then you tried to like show up at my house, I'd probably just be like, hey man, let's hang out. You're here. Why not? Let's have some fun. Let's shoot the shit. You came all the way out here for a reason, right? And just go from there. Yeah. Gonna see Kiss in concert. Oh wow. Kiss. Oh god, that takes me back. I haven't heard a whole lot of their stuff in a while. I'm surprised they're still around, like touring. Kiss has just been... God, Kiss is ancient. But then people like David Bowie, bless him, they toured, Prince did some tours practically up till he died. Like, there are a lot of acts that just... They're like the Energizer Bunny. They just keep going and going and going. Man. Okay, let's hope I can get this correct. Okay, rotate it. Oh no. Yep. Copied the pillar. Didn't mean to do that. GG. I got the realm updated today. Yes, the whole thing has... It actually automatically updated. I joined with 1.17, and then it was like, no, you gotta update your client, fool. And so I was just like, oh, well, fine then. So it finally, did its job. I'm pretty sure it's Mojang who has to update those things, but I don't know. It's a little weird. It made me, because I could join with 1.16, and this is well after 1.17 was up to date. It made me join with 1.17 as my client, just to get it to behave. So I don't know. Shit's whack, yo. Supposed to be last year. Yeah, COVID got a lot of things, Princess Molly, I know. Got a lot of fun stuff killed. That pandemic, though. But yeah, what other fun musical things do people love to embroil themselves in? Jack has the best sense speaking. Hello, Kajik Senpai. Well, I'm not your senpai or anyone's senpai, but you have been noticed by senpai, so there you go. I'm sure that's something you wanted. Kajak. Kajak have good if you have chat. Let's see now. It ends right here. But yeah, the almighty XCC2 skull banner. Yep, I'm gonna use that forever probably. Did House did a large priority ban wave? Wow, what? Why? What's the deal with that? Did a bunch of the book club members start acting up again or something? Okay. Right there should do. Last I heard, that was the last big priority ban wave, if I recall. Have I heard of the musician Jack Stauber? Yes, I have. I just listened to Buttercup for the first time, probably during the very beginning of the pandemic, is when I got into that. Because it was being used in a bunch of meme videos. I think it was a TikTok thing. And I was like, what is this song? Why is it so haunting and yet so good? And yeah, that got me hearing about Jack Stauber. I haven't gotten into a whole lot of his stuff yet, but I might. I don't know. Do it sometime. Yeah, see, I'll start singing it if I'm not careful. But anyway, do I have a Discord? Yes, I do. The link in my community post is dead currently just because I didn't want too many people flooding in all at once. Like, 10 to 20 people joining at a time is fine, but any more than that and it becomes a shit show real fast. So I've been very careful with letting the tap unturn and just rush in. I've learned the lesson of excessive newbies many, many times. I've seen it destroy entire Discords before. Which is part of the reason why I was so averse to making a Discord for the longest damn time. Finally, a fan had to do it for me to get me to just strong-arm me into doing it, pretty much. But I don't blame him. I mean, it's probably for the best. Ah, based flowering azaleas. Ooh. So I've not touched the temp map there in a while. How's that temp map doing for everybody? Is it still temporary? Can I send the updated link in chat? I will make another community post next week sometime. You'll just have to catch it. If you get lucky, you get lucky. If you don't, you don't. Eventually, I'll probably end up making a permanent one. But the key is to grow slowly, not explosively. Because, you know, think of it this way. This is how I liken Discord. Would you rather, A, have a normal, slow bowel movement, or B, an explosive bowel movement? Which is more pleasant? Which one sounds like it's something you can recover from? There you go. Two-time and O Kaloma. I hope I'm saying that right. Are your two favorites by Jack Stauber? Okay. O Kaloma. I'll have to remember that. And two-time. But yeah, that haunting melody from Buttercup is like, I love things that have that hauntingly beautiful melody to them. There's an artist that captured my imagination many, many, many moons ago. Come to think of it, I guess that would make a good story. 'Twas the year 2002. Long ago in a galaxy pretty close, I imagine. I don't think that galaxy has drifted too far away. But it was a different time, 2002. You didn't really have the internet, so there was no way to verify what was on TV. You basically had to go and watch it in person. And it was just magnificent. Back then you'd have cable or satellite, but you didn't really have like reliable methods of finding out what a show was. Like you'd have a little blurb, but that was it. You really didn't know what was what. And so you would see shows and the name would just be weird or foreign or something crazy, and you'd not know what to think about it. And so this is how I stumbled upon shows like Cowboy Bebop and other things. This is around the time Adult Swim was really getting off the ground. And so I see a show named Paranoia Agent, and I'm like, what is that? Like, that's such an odd name. I've got to see that. I've got to know what that is. And I didn't get to finally watch it until I got to go to my grandparents for a few summers in middle and elementary school. And it ended up being like amazing because my grandparents were borderline negligent. And so they let me do whatever I wanted, basically. And so staying up to 2 to 3 a.m. was completely viable. And I'd never really gotten to do something like that before. And so I see this show on the TV guide named Paranoia Agent. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? I gotta stay up for that. What is that? It's not on until like 1:30 a.m., which was an unreachable time slot back then. Never had the chance to ever dream about seeing something like that. And I finally get to see it, and this beautiful, haunting melody, this opening song, just blasts you out of your seat. And it's by none other than Susumu Hirasawa, whom I highly recommend now. I've been a huge fan of all his works for well over a decade now. And it wasn't until many years later when YouTube and, you know, the internet as a whole really matured to the point where you could find things like that. And so I remembered Paranoia Agent, and I looked into it and found this man has, like, he's my parents' age, and he's done more musical stuff, more works than probably as much as David Bowie, if not maybe a little more, maybe a little less. It's really hard to say. And like that's impressive to have such a, and it's all crazy stuff. Like no two songs by the man are exactly the same. That's really hard because like So many artists will get into that pop sort of mindset, I guess, that pop rut. And they just kind of, they're whatever. And so, yeah, it's just one of those things. People are just, some people are just so fascinating when it comes to music. You do therapy and it sucks, but I am better. Well, good. I hope your therapy goes well. Can I play Del Cold Sun, non-copyright BGM? No, tonight is the talkie night. No BGMs tonight. There's nothing but peace and serenity. There'll be Music Monday. Don't worry. Oh, but yeah. Hopefully, if you're looking for any sort of therapy or any sort of, I don't know, something to help you feel better about yourself, music's the way to do it. Like, there's guaranteed something out there musically that'll help you. I don't know what kind of therapy you're talking about specifically, but yeah. Okay. Thoughts on System of a Down. I remember System of a Down back when Chop Suey came out, and everybody wanted to play that shit on their guitar. Everybody wanted to be System of a Down there for a little while. God, that was in like middle school. That makes me feel old. But I mean, you know, System of a Down wasn't a bad band or anything. They had their time in the sun, I guess. They're still around, I think, aren't they? Well, I hope. I've lost completely track of them. I only ever listened to Chop Suey. I never got into anything else they did. Did they do anything that topped the charts or caught people's imaginations quite like Chop Suey did? My voice is calming. Well, thank you. I'm trying to be. Yo, Jack, will you do the same kind of music I did my first SVALT 3 cinematic? That first cinematic slideshow that I made back in like December or whenever it was. That was Jupiter Bringer of Jollity by Gustav Holst. When I do a big bad, you know, summary build or a summary video of the entire build showing off everything, I'm very likely going to reuse that song just because it's so amazing and epic. It puts the place together. It brings it all together, I should say. But yeah, it's that's something I'm thinking of doing. I'm glad you like that one, Diluted Water. The Room came out very nice. Oh, the one I'm working on, yeah. This room is coming along. It still needs a little something on the upper part. That upper part is just so empty. But yes. Someone called Sex Fruit made an album based on 2B2T. It's pretty interesting. Okay, well, what genre is that? And, like, what does it have in it? Does it make 2B2T historical references of some kind? That sounds like the sort of thing that would either be really cool or really cringe, depending on how well it's handled. Okay. This needs something more. right about in here. Oh, I need a texture pack that makes everything a circle. God, no. To be frank, I just play your stream in the background, and I jokingly call it Stories with Jack. Well, hey, good. Good. I'm glad you enjoy it, even if it isn't full-blown stories as much. I should keep a 2B2T story in the back of my pocket for, like, emergencies. Or something like that. I don't know. How did I get good at building? God. Just practice, I guess. Learning how to manipulate a simple shape, a simple set of shapes, really goes a long way. 'Cause, like, what's more interesting? A wall that looks like this, or a wall that's just the same repeating pattern over and over and over? Like, this is slightly interesting, but then you've got, like, this floor here, how it's just nothing but quartz. So what's more interesting? Looking at a wall that's just this, or this, which isn't too bad, or looking at a wall that's more like this. It's got dynamic elements to it. It's not the same thing 50 million times. That's why there needs to be stair and slab variants of every material. That's why there need to be different textures and different styles of blocks. Like, they've done really well with the more recent stuff, like Deep Slate, Prism. I think from the introduction of Prismarine onward, they did a good job varying it up enough to make you want to, you know, keep coming back, as it were. Because otherwise, why would you? You don't really have a reason to, you know, you don't want to use stone for the umpteen millionth time. It's okay in the beginning because, you know, in the beginning you're dirt poor. You don't have a whole lot of stuff going for you. But, like, especially with newer stuff like Deep Slate and Blackstone, they've done an excellent job of giving it a lot of much-needed variety. Because, like, I mean, it's the same problem. Like, stone is okay, but it's not amazing. It's the most bland texture with the most neutral possible color. And, like, you know, stone and cobblestone are the ultimate safe blocks. You don't need to think about them. You don't have to care about coordinating with them. They're just kind of there. And, I mean, that's fine, I guess. But blocks that are just kind of there are also equally forgettable. I'll never forget Sato mentioning that even though he enjoyed building with things like that, he was always made fun of for using those blocks. He built with nothing but cobble at Valkyria. He built with stuff like that because he said it reminded him of 2K. And I was just like, 2K was the shithole where we fought to the death. Why would you want to be reminded of that? But that's just and he built Anatolia that way, and he built his little, the only thing I ever saw him build that was different was this little Spartan-inspired home that was way out in the middle of nowhere. And I was just like, dude, this is really good. Why don't you do this more often? But he just never did. I don't know why. And it's just stuff like that. Like, you know, knowing how to build is knowing how to coordinate textures, colors, and shapes. And maybe even trying to tell a story partway through that. Now here, I'm not telling any stories in this build. This is just, this is really cool, I want to do this. This is really cool, I want to do that. Stuff like that. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, Since I'm doing this in here, I think it'd be a good idea to mirror it on the other side. Soul lanterns are all well and good, but beacons are better. It's really sad beacons are prohibitively expensive in survival. The tip that helps you a lot to make simple shapes first and then add detail to them. Yes, that's what I said. You always want to start with something ordinary and straightforward and go from there. Innovate on it. Add dynamic shapes to it. Give it its own character. Now, I skip a lot of those steps when I'm building, just because I've done that a million times. I've done that before. I already know about half of that stuff. So when you get good at a lot of these, you can just skip steps, and it's not a problem. A lot of artists are that good now. There's a lot of the earlier steps in, like, digital art and other things of that nature, where the more experience and skill you have at something, the easier it becomes to just skip the first 2 steps in the process and jump to a more defined end form. And your overall product won't suffer for it. Mostly because you've done the hard work of doing whatever. Oh, hey, thank you, Gorgon Breath. Yeah, happy Saturday, man. You've been doing well. I haven't seen you in 1 or 2 streams. You have an idea. Make a section of the base griefed. With buildings, cracked objects, water ran. I don't know about that. It's not a bad idea. I did get a really cool... Like, somebody wanted me to build the central pillar from Space Valk 3 and then have it, like, leaning at an angle and have it broken in places and, like, try to have it seem like it was crashed into something, like crashed into the landscape in some way. And honestly, I've taken that idea and I filed it away in the back of my head. That's not the sort of thing I'll do anytime soon, but it is something I will keep in mind. Because that's really fucking cool. Just that sound of that idea is really nice. So who knows? You might actually see that sort of thing. Not on this build, but somewhere. But it might come up again. I'm not against building things that are, like, worn, weathered, and seemingly old. You know, broken in some fashion. But, I don't know. That doesn't fit here. This place wouldn't... That wouldn't gel here. But that isn't a bad idea in and of itself. But hey, thanks for the idea. I'm always open to ideas. I just can't use them on everything that I do. Okay. So let's try bringing this out. You head to bed. Good night. Oh, take care, Nocturne. You have a good one, man. What's it? Oh, it's only 11. Well, I don't know. It's probably later where you are. But I understand. Have I thought of adding an ATM? Oh, shit. That's a great idea. Thank you, Diluted Water. I need to. I will look up a decent ATM design of some kind. I'll very likely have to use a map art to complete the illusion. Just because that's the sort of thing that really demands, I don't know, you have to What's a good way to put this? You have to really kind of sell it. You know what I mean? But yes, I will definitely use ATMs. Whatever design I finalize for that. I'll put those everywhere. Because there's a lot of places that could use something like that. Especially that bank. Because, you know, I went to the trouble of making a bank, but it has no ATM in front of it. Which is a little weird. You hate it when people ask for credit for ideas. Okay. Did a stream where you built a small obby castle and someone recommended that you use crystals. Said he would dox you if you didn't credit him. Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's the point at which you just ban people like that. Because, like, that person's out to hurt you. And so keeping them around in any way, shape, or form is just a recipe for disaster. You just get rid of them. I will dox you if you don't credit me. And I'm sure he probably will try to dox you regardless, because someone who will, you know, threaten you with that will figure out a way to hurt you otherwise anyway. So even if you did, you know, dance to his tune, he would still likely threaten you again. And then when you inevitably get fed up and say no, you know, he'll turn on you. People like that are always looking for a person to exploit. What about a vending machine? Yeah, I've got some vending machines actually. That's already in the works. Because there was a map art made on 2B2T that I happened to save a while ago, and it's a vending machine. Yeah, I think it was even posted at Spawn a few times. So I definitely want to use that. 'Cause that thing looked dope as hell. I was really sad when all the map art, like all that stuff keeps getting erased and reset. Because you can't do crazy stuff like that. You can't make a vending machine or a slow Newfag crossing or stuff like that. You just can't get to, you don't get the mileage out of them. You know, this is a 35 mile per hour zone. Horse hackers will be ticketed, you know, stuff like that. Shit like that makes you smile. Makes me smile anyway. Okay. Preferably at the convenience store. Yes, that's definitely a thing. My dad is mad. Good night. Okay, good night. Sorry, Nocturne. Just catch the VOD. Don't worry about it. Nowhere is it written that you gotta be here in person. You need a good ATM design for your bank in your world. Yep. Oh, any happenings with like the temp map or anything going on, or is it still the boring ass temp map? I feel like it's kind of pointless, you know? I'd play there, but is it looking like it's going to change any? I know he said that he'd probably test the OG world. However that'll go down. Who knows? Bro, epic. Hey, player 3. The Quard exploit, I heard about that. I heard that the Nerds Inc. members had somehow managed to get a faulty patch put on Paper Spigot. Now that's something. Like when even the infrastructure people can't be trusted to not get backdoored in some fashion. Like that's wow. I gotta wonder who blew the whistle on something like that. That's nuts. You really can't trust anybody, you know? Do I still play 2B2T? No, not really. But I do hear a lot of the goings-on still. And, like, maybe if things improved, I would return to playing it, but I don't know. I'm still very on the fence about that. The problem is, I wouldn't be able to stream or record anything that I do on 2B2T, because it would inevitably get found and destroyed before I finish. So, I don't know. It's just one of those things. It's iffy, you know? But maybe someday it would be easier to not get stream sniped or have your cords found out because some autist back engineered whatever. I don't know. I'm not entirely certain that such a day will ever come. But perhaps it will. Alrighty then. The hero we need. Boxy Spoker, what'd you say? What are my opinions on OnlyFans? I don't really have one, to be honest. I don't care. Well, since you want me to talk about Prawn, why not? Let's see here. Other things do I do outside of games? Well, I've done a lot of digital drawing lately. I'll talk about Prawn in a second, so just give me a moment. I've gotten into digital art a bit. I'm trying to shore up my skills. Most of what I've done has been physical drawings, but I have done a little digital art. I'm not satisfied with it yet. It seems to be a late night thing. Like, I can't sit on, like, in GIMP for hours and hours and just sit there and go at a drawing for however long and just I have to do something else, you know? I have to do something more meticulous, I guess. I don't know how to put it. Like, I can relax and unwind after, like, a shower or something, but doing it for an entire day straight, it drives me up the wall. In addition to that, I've been doing a lot of my Japanese studies to keep myself from getting rusty, pretty much. There are a lot of Japanese live streamers I will occasionally watch. VTubers, for those of you who are more in the know. And if you don't care, I completely understand. It's a world unto its own. I don't recommend you jump into that if that's not your cup of tea. But, you know, I've been learning Japanese for like 3 going on 4 years now, so it's a good way to, you know, pick up the language. And there are other streamers who stream in other languages, so if you're doing like Korean, Chinese, whatever, there are options for you there. School starts up next month, so that's going to eat up some more time. But I've structured my streaming schedule ever since I got more free time. I structured it from the beginning to not conflict with school, so I'm not going to worry about it. So you guys will still see me every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at the normal time, 10:30 a.m. For me, 10:30 a.m. I need to put the proper times on my schedule, obviously. But, you know, that's all gonna be what it's gonna be. Other than that, I rollerblade as a outlet for exercise. I literally did that just 2 hours ago. And let me tell you, that's a full body workout. Rollerblading, as seemingly antiquated as it seems, rollerblading's a good way to really burn calories and get your whole body pumping. It's cardio, but it does the job. It won't make you physically stronger. You won't get gains from it, but it's definitely a good, well-rounded thing. Because you're moving your whole body. You're not just running. It is not the equivalent of running. You will use different muscles than you would with jogging. Cycling is a different set of muscles. Obviously, weightlifting is a different set of muscles. You know, stuff of that nature. I love rollerblading. Oh my god. It's so exhilarating. I've been doing it ever since I graduated high school, which was like 13 fucking goddamn. It's been 13 years since I graduated high school. I feel so very old. Oh man. How many members are there in the Discord server? About 30, I think. I haven't actually looked. Let me look and see real quick. Oh, hey, Fast Vincent. Oh god. Wow, it's well past 30. 39. So that's 40, no, 52, 55. Good lord. Yeah, it's a 55 member Discord already. It has grown. I might want to wait until I trust a few more people and make them mods and shit before I let it get too much bigger, just because it's going to get out of hand real fast. I noticed a lot of people from 2B2T joining the Discord when I posted the community thing 2 or 3 days ago. And I'm like, ooh, that's gonna get out of hand if the wrong 2B2T person joins on in. Thankfully, only really cool people have seemed to join, so, you know, hopefully I can keep it that way. But yeah. You tried making a VTuber model using Live 2D. You're going to buy the pro version. Yeah, I'm thinking of something similar. I don't want to spoil plans, but I've been meticulously working on a model for a while now. Shit, I feel embarrassed even saying that. Oh, but yeah. You're dying to join. Nah, don't worry, you'll get your chance. You'll get your chance. Everybody will have their chance. Eventually, like I said, I'll make a static, permanent one when I feel like we're stable enough to where we can handle a constant influx of people. Because that's really the problem, is the constant influx of people will very quickly get out of hand, and Discord is not forgiving when it comes to, like, oh my god, one of your members said something too edgy, delete Discord. And then what, you know? President Alpha Computer. Yeah, Alpha's a treasure, to be sure. I warned him about, you know, getting out of hand when he joined, and I'm like, okay, can you be civil, Alpha? Because Alpha loves to not be civil. And he's fine when he's alone with me, but when he's not, when he's with other people, he wears his toxicity as a badge of honor. And I'm like, okay, that works wherever else, but they don't work here. Be very careful, man. Remember when your friend stole 32Ks from Alpha? Who was your friend? Was that Jordan L666? Yeah, that was a bad time. That's actually, ironically, I forgot about that when I was recounting the 32Ks in story time. We got Pearl exploited at a stash where we had 32Ks, and Jordan L666 ended up stealing them from us. And so we were like, okay, dump them. And so we started selling them to everybody. And that's why we started selling them in 2018. I completely forgot about that. Thank you for jogging my memory about that, man. Try to make friends with him. Yeah, you can try and make friends with Alpha if you can. If he'll let you. He's not friendly on purpose. I will say that. If you can crack the nut, crack his hard shell, sure, go right ahead. But Alpha's not exactly family friendly for a reason. But that's just how he is, you know. Alpha sounds like you, Mike. I don't know. Maybe. If you can. Hello, Declan. How are you? I promise I will vary these ugly-ass jungle leaves up. I just wanted to get a good back, I don't know, a good foundation, if you will. Haven't checked the Discord in days. Oh. What's the point of being nice? Initially, it's so, as I said, Discord doesn't decide to blow us to smithereens. Because they will. I want people to get used to each other before we all go all out on each other. Hi, Gross. Or Grow was not XD. God, some people's names are just so wacky. Reading names, I tell you. How do we read? Really? How can we see if our eyes aren't real? Props to you if you remember where that's from. The voice chats have been pretty quiet on the server. Been trying to join and get people to talk about it. Well, people are just gun shy, I guess. I don't know how else to put it. I mean, the Discord isn't even 2 weeks old. Or no, 3 weeks old. It's about 2 weeks old. But, I mean, it's a very new Discord. Like, it's gonna be a slow process, and that's by design. I don't want it to be a fast process. If it's a fast process, nuclear meltdown is right around the corner. And that's just not something... Like, I don't want a Discord server to be an unsavory experience. I want everybody to look back on it and go, yeah, Jack's Discord is really cool. I like hanging out there and being chill with everyone. Or getting to, I don't know, whatever. Share this, share that, that sort of thing. If it's anything less, anything more, I'm a little iffy about it. But who knows, maybe that's just my fear, and not actual founded on truth. Who knows? How do we taste and smell? Receptors in the brain and on the body parts in question. Hey Jack, were you part of helping a sniper off that fishing vessel? I have no idea what you're referencing. So likely no. Dark X glitch. Huh. Well, thank you, man. I'm happy to be your favorite YouTuber. Or, oh God, I'm a YouTuber now, aren't I? Shit, you made it official, Dark. But it's nice that people care. So thank you so much, man. Am I going to put anything under the disc? You've been watched all the other streams. Well, if you've been watched the streams, you should know I'm not putting anything under there that I haven't already put. And what do I think of Attack on Titan Season 4? I'm going to watch Attack on Titan when it's all said and done. I want to watch it in one sitting, and just be able to form an opinion on it in one go. I saw the 2013 release, and it was years between seasons 1 and 2, and I hate that shit. I absolutely cannot stand having a show that I like go years without anything. And I swear to God, it was like radio silence for almost 4 or 5 years. And no, actually, it's probably about 5 or 6 years. And I was just like, I can't take that. And so I was like, okay, I will wait until the entire series is done. I can see it all in one go, formulate a better opinion on it. Because, you know, sometimes you forget things as it airs. And I get it. Watching things as they air is definitely its own experience. But it's just one of those things where I'm just like, if it's a really good story or I'm really interested in whatever the hell it's trying to do, I don't know. I'm set in my ways in that I started watching anime with old anime, stuff that was long since concluded. And so, you know, back in the days of torrenting anime and stuff, you had a plethora of things that you could just sit down, download everything that had ever been produced, and then just watch it all. And yeah, you can still do that, sure. But with newer stuff, that's just not an option because it hasn't finished airing. And it's a different watching experience, watching something as it airs versus watching something from 7, 8, however many years ago. And so I don't know. I will, I'll give you my opinion on it when I get there. So I can't really do it justice, you know? I would love to. Like Dragon Maid. Dragon Maid has its current season airing, and I'm trying my damnedest to not watch it right now. Because I know, you know, I got to watch Dragon Maid for the very first time literally after it concluded its initial airing in 2017. Ironically, that was when I was building the disc park up there. I was laying the initial dirt and grass. I can remember everything that I was doing, and I remember seeing and hearing about Dragon Maid and going, okay, I'll wait till this is done and give it a good old college try. And I had just finished laying out the quartz, and I was like, okay, this is what I'm going to make, and I'm going to make this a park, and it's going to be baller. And I was like, okay, this is boring as hell because I'm just laying grass. I was laying dirt. That was it. Because we were waiting for the grass to spread. And I was like, okay, what do I want to listen or watch while I pass the time? And that's right after Dragon Maid finished concluding. And I'm like, okay, this was hot stuff. Everybody raves about it. Well, let's give it a shot. And it was genuinely really good. And I would not have had that experience had I watched it as it aired. But obviously I would have had a different experience. Watching things as they air isn't a bad idea. But watching it all in one sitting ain't a bad idea either. So, you know, it's just your mileage may vary. Your mileage will definitely vary on things like that. All right. let's just make 2. I don't want to block the staircases. I kind of want these pools to just be, I don't know. Something like a reflection pool, that sort of thing. How was that feeling when my base got griefed on 2B2T? Ooh, that was a hard day. But I ultimately ended up, I was very happy because later that day, I found out that the nerds missed the copy completely. Or they killed the copy, but they missed the original site completely. And I was like, hell yes. We can still build and live here. So it was a bittersweet day, because we lost a lot of good shit that I would have preferred to keep. But it ultimately was an alright experience, because it got them off my back. Put axolotls in the water. I would, but axolotls are stupid. And so I would have to cover this up, because axolotls will beach themselves and die. And axolotls will hunt and kill fish too, so that's why I don't put them in the aquariums that I have in the various places. Because those places have fish in them, and I don't want those fish getting killed off just because axolotls kill off fish. Like, that's not cool. Thinking about putting another little reflection pond here. But yeah, I'm sure you'll watch it and enjoy it. The Attack on Titan, or Dragon Maid. Yeah, both. I'll definitely see to both. Don't worry. Because see, the beauty of waiting for a season to finish is that on the seasons where there's just nothing to watch that you really care about, you got something you can go and go back to. And so you don't have that. It helps to mitigate the drought, as it were. Let's go over here. At least that's my justification for it. I can't really say that's a terribly good justification, but it works. It works for me. What am I going to do after I complete Space Valks 1 and 3? Hardcore Let's Play is the current plan. We'll see if I decide to do something else. Obviously, you guys will be the first to know. Who knows? I'll surprise you, maybe. Just have to look forward to it. I kind of want to hang some lights. Yeah, like right here. Never be afraid to go back and change something. Chiseled or pillared? Let's go with chiseled. Yeah. Just like that. And we'll hang some beacons to sort of give the place extra lighting. I guess I've kind of let even lighting slip through the cracks a little bit. Because, like, there's, you know, right here, there's this giant swath of dark space, and Endermen will spawn here and stuff like that. So, I don't know. I haven't really... I know there's that light block, that invisible light. See if I can do... Jack. Aha! So that's how we do it. So we could use this everywhere. I'm hoping this wouldn't, like, destroy frame rates. Come to think of it, we could make a world edit thing. So for example, from here to here, other than this red strip of glass, there's really no light being emitted here. So if I did this, let's say I'm tired of seeing all of this. Oh wow, we can't even hit it with world edit. Okay, or with the wand rather. Alright, alright. It's easily fixed. Let's say I wanted it to be right here. So position 2. Replace air with light. So that updates everything and it's now all full bright. Is this going to cause frame rate lag? Because if not, because I know these don't render if you don't have the light thing in your hand. If not, this is a really cheap and easy way to just not worry about the lighting problem. Although, I don't know. I can't necessarily say I like the full bright look. I don't know, what are you guys' opinions? I probably won't be playing 2B2T anymore, Anarchy server. I'm not 100% against 2B2T, I'm just not 100% in favor of it. I'm like 80-20 split right now. Damn, that looks nice. Tell us your story. I might tell you a story. Oh yeah, I also said I would talk about prawn, didn't I? Forgot about that. Well, basically, I don't really care. Like, if you're into whatever, then you do whatever you want to do or see or what have you. It's up to you to live your life. So, I try to be very... Like, there are some things, fetishes and stuff, that just, like, I'll never understand. I'll never get. And I've kind of accepted that. But prawn in general, like, it's one of those things that's always going to be there. It's always going to be a part of human society. Like, you're never going to ever be done with it. It's never going to go away. You can't crush it. You can't get rid of it. You can't stamp it out. Oh, great. That's just caused a ton of lighting errors. Fuck. But yeah, you're never going to get rid of it. It's never going to go away. It's always going to be an element of human society. There's not much else you can say about it. Like, if you don't like that, tough. It's just like the internet. The internet's not going away. And what would it take for the internet to go away? It would take the collapse of society. What would it take for prawn to go away? It would take the collapse of society. So, like, it's one of those things where, like, be careful what you wish for, because it's going to have really nasty consequences. So, like, at a certain point, you know, you just have to accept that there's going to be shit you don't like about life, about the world, about society. And you're not going to be able to ever do anything to change it. You will never be able to change that. Because ultimately you'd be confronting human nature. And human nature is probably the most fickle beast imaginable. So yeah, that's pretty much my stance on prawn. There we go, I killed it. Killed the lighting bug. Swatted it. Unlikely, but I'm kind of right. That would kill my PC. I don't know. I don't know that it'll hurt frame rates. It just doesn't look good. Like, the whole point of lighting is to contrast it with shadow. If you're going to crush every bit of lighting, then what's the point of, what's the point in doing it? You're going to kill the fun, then so be it. Oh, I meant to do the sign thing. Let me go fetch the right sign real quick. Simple enough. Okay, let me be sure this is... No, this is not the same. Okay. I want all my signs to be uniform, damn it. There we go. So now you know... Oh, whoops. Now you know where you're going, pretty much. Ugh. So that's up. This is down. Obviously, you can take the boring-ass staircase, but, why would you? What are you? Some kind of water elevator-hating liberal or something? Feel like mood adding adds to the build. Right, exactly, Jay. That is exactly it. Okay, so this is down. Whoops. Making this up. Up, gang. And this dumps you out on some sort of warp pipe looking thing. And then this is the virtual space. Pretty much. Okay, so if I recall, there were a bunch of floating islands up about here. Oh god, the Mario 64 music is already playing in my head. And now it's playing in your head too. That's some good-ass comfy music. And then there was a cage. How many islands were there? Like 4? How to privately message me. Get lucky when I post the Discord link sometime this week. I don't know when it'll be. And when you get lucky, you will have access to the Discord. You can join, and there you can private message me. How's that sound? And then there was a cage. It was a pretty tall cage, if I recall. There we go. There's the wage cage, where I believe you had to get a star. Although, that looks a little too short and small. Perfect. There we go. That's a proper cage. I want to say there was another island, but I'd have to go and check. I still haven't updated this thing like I meant to. Actually, this place would be the perfect place to use the artificial lighting, because this is the holodeck, effectively. Whoops. So yeah, right there. So it makes sense for this place to be Fulbright. God, that really does make it pop, though. So I don't know. we can focus on making it more or less how it actually was. Weren't there were some flowers here. A little patch. One of those piranha plant things was sleeping in it. Put a rose bush here, why not? Oh wait, there was another one over here too. It was right there. Oh, you can't... Crap. Let's put some coarse dirt there instead. Yeah, right like that. And I think that was all of them? Oh, and there were platforms here. No. Let's go with petrified oak. We'll make a... right there. There were some platforms that rotated that away. And then there was the giant... large wooden... Oh, shit. So these would be better off over here instead. Because if I recall, you kicked this giant platform. And that's what connects you over to the islands. But of course, those of us who played the game to death would just, like, speedrun strat or some shit and be over there in a jiffy and not have to actually do what the developers intended you to do to get over to it. Because it's always easy to, you know, use the owl or something like that. Move down 2. And I don't want to see... Yeah, so you'd catch the owl from the tree and then you'd land in the cage. I think that's how it worked. And then you'd kick this pillar. Let's move it over by 1. And that's how you got over. Yeah, shit, that's bringing back some memories. Okay. And so that's this one. And then obviously I want to make more. I want to be able to swap these out. Oh God, where's the corner? There we go. Oh, I'm going to have to learn how to do the clone command, I think. Oh, and for the ice road, somebody suggested a really good idea. I'll have to keep those there like that. But yeah, somebody suggested a really good idea to replace the bottom stairs with glass panes, because that'll give me a little more leeway with the boat stuff. Oh yeah, there was an arrow, wasn't there? Okay. I'll have to fix that. This will just be a blank slate. Because because I want it to be... Whoops. That's actually... Damn it. That is actually way too far. There we go. Make that light instead so that it maintains full bright status. Okay, I'll build more of the simulated environment things in a bit. Shit, where did that arrow go? I don't remember. Wasn't it like right here pointing that direction? Ah, screw it. I'll have to reference images and stuff. Figure out how to do all that stuff later. Go to sleep now. Oh, well, go to sleep. I sent 3D blueprints on Discord for me to see after stream. Okay. Yeah, I will definitely look at that. Uh-huh. By the log. Ah, right, yeah. Because there's an arrow pointing you to go in the direction of the islands. Something like that. I want to say there were non-grass islands, too. I don't know. And then the blue swamps were over here. My placement may be a little askew. This is not very well to scale. Going off memory will do that. Oh well. And then I wanted to also fix this real fast. Okay. Cylinder, black, stained glass panes. 2? Mask quartz stairs. Oh, that's not gonna... Or wait, yes it will. Okay, cool. Some bits won't update properly, but I think it should work. Now, should I do a top layer? No. I like it just on the bottom. Yeah, just like that. That way there's enough leeway for you to move on the boats. I'll have to go back and manually update all those glass panes and make them connect. This should work, though. Okay. I'll have to refine some of that other stuff later. But yeah, one final story to end off the night. What was a good 2B2T experience, or an interesting one? Let me see if I'll have to rack my brain for a second here. Hopefully it's one I've not told. That's my worst fear, is like telling a bunch of stories back to back and it's the same fucking 2 or 3 stories. And I become Jack the broken record. Like, Grandpa Jack, we've heard this story a million times. Like, I don't want that to happen to me. I really don't. What was a good one? Oh, I remember a good one. Okay. Yeah. So, this takes place during... It's a little bit after... It's like right during Valkyria. I want to say this is before Boat Murdered, but I don't fully remember precisely, and it doesn't really matter when it took place precisely, just during the Valkyria era. So I met 2 guys who would end up becoming Really cool people, but I unfortunately lost track of them. And I can kind of tie it to an event that happened later on during the back door of 2016. So I met two guys. One of them's name was Fubster. The other's name was the Pompano. So Fubster and Pomp, we called them. Pompano and Fubster were an old friend group. They would grief and fuck with people, basically. They were really hilarious, fun duo. Always had like some form of mischief they were up to. They were really, really wily people. You never quite knew what to expect from them. And we met them at Spawn during the reign of Valkyria. And we very quickly took a shine to them. We love Fubster and Pompano. They always... Something about Fubster and Pompano, they had this childish spirit to them, but like it was funny as hell. Pompano would always talk in all caps in chat, and he would annoy people because they were like, why are you always talking so loudly? Of course, it's text. There's no loud in text form. But obviously people, associate unconsciously. They associate all caps with, you yelling. And it just was always a thing. Pompano knew that would always get under people's skin. And just like, I could tell there was this brilliance to the way they trolled people. And so when we invited them to Valkyria, Pompano and Fubster immediately got to work making some crazy shit. But not the sort of crazy shit like what I make or what, people enjoyed doing at the time. No. This was something wacky. So Fubster and Pompano started a group known as the 2B2T Fish and Wildlife Corps? Yeah, it was 2B2T Fish and Wildlife Corps. And 2B2T Fish and Wildlife specialized in patrolling Spawn, trolling anyone there, and looking for stashes to heist and bring back to Valkyria. And of course we had Spawn teleport, so this was really easy to do. And sure enough, that's exactly what they ended up doing. And the next thing I know, I'm just walking around Valkyria one day, and I happen upon this tower of junk. But it's not just junk. There's some valuables in there, like gold, redstone, some beacons even. Just stuff like that. And I'm like, what the hell is this? And there's a sign at the base of the tower that says Tower of Stolen Goods. And so as it turns out, the stashes that Fubster and Pompano had raided went into the making of the tower. And it was, of course, that's the birth name of the Tower of Stolen Goods. That's where it came from. It was literally just a collage of crap that they'd stolen from anyone that they'd heisted at Spawn. And it was hilarious because I was like, oh my god, this place is such an eyesore. But the concept is ingenious. The Tower of Stolen Goods. And I just had a good hearty laugh every time I saw one of their antics. And they did a lot of stuff around this time. They made, and I think you probably would have seen it in the world download of Valkyria, the musical meat grinder, which was just a bunch of sheep in a pen that would constantly, because there were wooden pressure plates everywhere, they would constantly be stepping on these pressure plates that were hooked up to a bunch of tuned note blocks. Crazy shit. And of course the sheep would bump into each other and then step on the pressure plates. So this thing was constantly not only bleeding sheep, but also tuning and retuning these note blocks to play these notes over and over and over and over. And it was just this musical nightmare. And I was just like, what on earth? Everything they came up with was like a new exercise in crazy. Fubster and Pompano were absolute evil geniuses when it came to trolling. I'd never forgot them, because they could always give you a laugh in the most unpredictable way. And eventually, you know, Valkyria came and went, and, you know, the whole place went belly up. It was very unfortunate. And so when that happened, I was like, oh, I've got to have them at the lands. And eventually, yeah, I convinced them to join us, and they rode on the nether roof on horseback with us. But I hate to say this, that was a mistake. Not because Fubster and Pompano did anything bad, but because I realized I took the fish out of water. Fubster and Pompano really, really thrived at spawn. And Valkyria, naturally being close enough to spawn to kind of give them, you know, to give them access to griefing and heist stashing and new fag harassing and all this fun stuff. And it just was, it was very unfortunate, you know? They were stuck out at the lands, millions of blocks out, and suddenly, oh, this is so much better. Oh, this is so much better. Thank you so much, whoever it was that mentioned this. I forget your name, I'm so sorry. Okay, cool. Now I gotta replace the other end. But yeah, it was just one of those things where, like, they lost their will to go on. Because I took the fish out of the ocean, or out of the water. And they would occasionally come back, you know. But they were very clearly associated with my group at that point. So fast forward a few years, and the back door of 2016 occurs. And we get griefed. Space Valk 2 is destroyed, and I'm like, oh god, what now? And out of nowhere, Fubster and Pompano rejoin. Fubster goes away really quickly, but I strike up a conversation with Pompano, and I'm like, wait a sec. Pompano, what happened to you? Where are you? And I'm like, oh, and he responds back to me, and he's like, oh yeah, you know, Fubster and I have been around. And I'm like, but I haven't seen anything from you. I haven't heard anything from you. What's going on, man? And Pompano manages to get my coords out of me. And I'm like, well, you know, we're currently hiding out at XCC2's spawn area. Remember, this is like just before Russia. And he's like, oh, really? Is that where you guys went? Oh, well, you know, we got tired of the lands, so we'll go there now. XCC2 at this time had a prismarine castle somewhat close to spawn where, you know, we built this Guardian farm. And I didn't think a thing of that. And I thought, huh. It's so weird to see Pompano and Fubster come back after all these years. Well, come to find out, that's not at all what had happened. Fubster and Pompano never touched the game again. They moved on to like 7 Days to Die or DayZ or something like that. And so they were griefing in that game. They didn't give a fuck about 2B2T. And in fact, had no idea their accounts had logged on to 2B2T at all. And it's just something about it struck a chord with me. It was odd. And so I get on Steam, because Pompano and Fubster were always active on Steam, and I messaged Pompano on Steam. It's just something about Pompano's demeanor. It was different. It wasn't the Pompano that I knew. And I was like, who is this? And I messaged Pompano on Steam, and I'm like, did you ask for the coords to this place? And Pompano on Steam had no fucking clue what I was talking about. And immediately I was like, uh-oh. Shenanigans are afoot. Something's gone on. Something's happened. What's What is this sorcery? Come to find out, the nerds had logged on to Pompano's account somehow. And I guess because they had backdoor access and thus root access to the whole server. So it's not too out of the ordinary to think they might be capable of doing that. But they had way, way, way higher access than they should have. And so obviously that really got me kind of like wondering, what in the holy hell, how far did they go? Like, what could they do? Did they have authentication tokens? Well, no, if that was the case, they'd have just logged directly into my account. They would have done something with that, you know? Clearly something was up with that. And it turns out there was a database leak, a Chinese database leak that coincided with the account. Or not with the account, with the backdooring of 2B2T. And so it kind of seemed like, oh, well, that's where, you know, that's where the nerds got their access. But no. It was definitely the new website being hosted on 2B2T's hardware. That is most definitely where they got everything. And yeah, it was an unfortunate time. And talking with Pompano, we basically coordinated to expose them. And what set me off was the very first thing that happened when Pompano logged in. It was one of the nerds, I think it was Talo, who was doing it. The first thing he asked was, hey, where are you? You know, where are you at the lands? And I'm like, oh, Pompano, didn't you know the lands was griefed? And he's like, oh, no. Well, where have you located to? Where have you relocated to? And I was like, you know, I don't really trust whispering on 2B2T. And just other things that Pompano said and did was very out of character. And it just seemed strange that during a highly suspect time that an old friend would just magically come back. Really makes you think, doesn't it? And so I was right in being suspicious because, as it turns out, that was exactly what had happened. They had breached and gotten an old password. And so Pompano deleted his account entirely just to fuck with the nerds, I think. And yeah, that was the end of that, unfortunately. So to this day, there should still be a stash hidden out at the lands somewhere. I don't even remember where. I think I have the coordinates written down, but I've never bothered. Oh shit. I was afraid that would happen. I've never bothered to go there. I killed my account from there and stopped playing on alts and started playing on my main. And then I went to go make Space Valk 3. So I haven't really bothered with anything that's out there in so long now. But yeah, that was that pretty much. That was Fubster and Pompano. I swear they were real pranksters. They made a road at spawn that went out to like an end portal and some other things. And they named it the Frozen Pizza Dale Earnhardt Jr. Memorial Highway or some crazy shit like that. And they named all sorts of weird stuff around spawn after like famous dead celebrities and like weird crazy stuff like that. And they would try to social engineer people, and then they would hold people hostage. And basically they were, you know how Fit would talk about using slave labor and stuff like that. They were doing that stuff, but unironically, just for the fun of it, just for the hell of it. Not even for like a project or for any real tangible goal. They were just doing it to mess with people. It was crazy. And Pyro Sato and I got a huge kick out of anything they did. And yeah, those were the days of Valkyria. I really miss those times. Oh, I'll never Never let those days go in my mind. But yeah. All good things come to an end, most certainly. Him not using all caps should have tipped you off. Well, no, he didn't use all caps when he was whispering. And so when I noticed Pompano was online for the first time in a year or two, I private messaged him. I didn't make it known that I was talking with him. I was like, hey, hey man, what you up to? And he was like, oh, hey, Jack. Of course, he knew who I was. I knew who he was. Okay, so let's see if I can't do the circuit. Tokyo Drift style. Okay, well, there's certainly more room to maneuver, but it's still treacherous. But you do get a fairly good view of the entire place. So I'm not going to lie, this was a good idea. I'm glad that a dude in a previous stream left a comment, like, on one of the archives and said this is how I should do it. I can't fault him for that. That was a good idea. Well, that's definitely something. I'll fix all this glass some other time. Okay, back to where we started. Right here, right in front. This is a good spot for an ATM. An all-terrain machine. And then we'll have some sort of lighting. Maybe a cage or a, a housing for it. That'll work. Yeah, that's good. And then guess ATM. ATM. Let's get some dye. Glow sack. Make that pop. And then I'll put... What could I use for a console? Just a slab? No, it needs to be something. Maybe we won't bother. Yeah, something like that. Just like a flat black screen. And then like the code console or whatever to do your stuff's like right there. Yeah, that works. And I'll make this the last major thing I do for the night. Convenience store has to have one. Of course. Guess right here. Better rotate that sucker 90 degrees. Perfect. And we make it flush. That's good. Yo, eBay, how you been, man? I don't think this will be a private residence, but I don't know. Oh! It didn't preserve the sign. Where did I put that? No, give me sign. Sign. Perfect. Right there. And then since these are central transit hubs, I guess it makes sense to put one here. But where? Needs to be up against a wall. Maybe on every floor. What do I think about Initial D? I've never seen it. I only know about the meme, you know. Tokyo drifting, whatever it is. So yeah, I couldn't tell you much about it. I know it's about racing. That's about it. Speed or street racing, I think. I don't know. Not really my cup of tea, I hate to say. So yeah. That'll do. I need to put more armor stands here and there. And also this lovely skyway connection thing. I need to put that at the entrance of every one of these. Rotate 90. Go this away. There we are. Jack, will you ever hear the story about why you want that guy's dollar? What? I have no idea what you're talking about. There was a dude who wanted me to accept his dollar. That was Women or Objects. And, or WOW, or WAO, whatever his name was. I don't fucking care. Like, him giving it to me or whatever was just... It's very strange. He kept insisting that I take it. And, like, it weirded me out. I was like, what? What are you on? Like, what do you want from me? And, yeah, he just never stopped talking about that. No mods tonight. Oh, yeah, I guess not, yeah. Jean Knot and Exotic Bunny are out. But it's been a peaceful night, so I don't think it's really been too mandatory that they be here. But hey, Mike. Guess what? I like you enough, and I trust you enough. So I'm going to make you a mod. Don't everybody start begging, please. How many blocks in total has this taken? Oh, millions. And by the end of it, it will be probably 3 million plus. Easily. I could definitely see this place being a millions of blocks affair. Because as the city gets larger and more dense, more and more stuff is going to be... Oh shit, I bumped the mic. My bad. But yeah, as this thing gets more dense, like this place is gonna get crazy. So yeah, for now, I think that will do. Oh, I want to put an ATM in the front of, or in the lobby rather, of the, I think I'll put 2. Right here is good. Oh, but I gotta go copy it again. Poop. Want to put it in the apartment lobby because it kind of makes sense to be there. Hey man, want a crisp dollar bill? Yeah, that was how he was. It was very strange. I was kind of weirded out by it. But I mean, it wasn't a real dollar bill. It was, you know, virtual. I mean, it was real money, just that he kept wanting to PayPal it to me for some odd reason. No. Rotate. Oh. Backwards. And this was like 2 or 3 years ago that he kept wanting to do this. I couldn't really, like, I didn't understand why he wanted to, and I wasn't any big deal. Like, nobody knew about Space Valk at this time. Space Valk 3. And so I was just weirded out. I don't know how else to put it. He was just trying to be strange. I don't know. Okay. That's pretty good. Okay, I'm gonna make some very small, like, not a building here, probably like a fountain or something. It's like something's got to go in here. Yeah, he probably knows a PayPal exploit, right? Yeah, that's the kind of stuff that I'm not willing to touch on. Like, there's got to be something back here. It can't just be empty space. I've got to fill it in with something. Although this is a much larger space, so a proper building's probably going to go here. But like between this conduit pillar and the casino here, oh shit, the casino. ATM's got to be in there too. Rotate 90. Oh. Perfect. I deleted that sign just a tad bit too fast. Eh? I didn't copy it properly. There we go. Use e-chests. Maybe. I don't know. Okay, I'll experiment with that. I forgot it's not e-chest, it's ender chest. There we go. Now, do I like this? Okay. And I'll make a new enter. Did I Interdimensional. Come on, fingers, cooperate. Interdimensional storage. Then we make this thing glow. Where would be another good place? I guess the lobby of the apartment. Okay, so it was facing this way, so I need to rotato it 180. Paste that there. Do another one on the opposite side. It's 2 blocks in. Why is there no redstone? There's some redstone here and there. Right there, that's a redstone-driven door. I've got a few more redstone doors and stuff, like for the airlocks that go out to the very outside. But you're right, I should probably put some more redstone here and there. I think I could get away with making a redstone elevator here in the center. Still don't know what I want this building to be. And then it going up to the very, very top. Or what this would even... It's got a decent... Well, not really a decent amount of space. I don't know. It's something inspired by the Seattle Space Needle to a minor degree. So I don't know. It takes Starbucks instead. An ATM that never functions. Well, what would, like, there'd have to be an economy, you know? I mean, I can't give function to everything in the universe. It's just... Minecraft is only so sophisticated, you know? Can't actually play blackjack on that table or roulette. Can't actually play these slot machines as cool as they look. Like, everything is eye candy to one degree or another. But that's okay. Like, the experience is eye candy. You know? Some of this is fun, some of this is just silly. But at the end of the day, you know, have fun with it. That's the best thing. Like, this is not really a radio tower, but, you know, kind of behaves like one. Ooh, maybe the restaurant ought to have an ATM. Definitely. I don't know, do I want it inside? Yes. Yes, I think I do. Okay. 90 degrees. Copy the ATM real fast again. Oh, hey, Super Jean. How are you? Shite. One more time. And there we go. Okay. I'm reasonably satisfied. Well, that's going to do it for me for the evening. Kind of like how this interior turned out. I don't know. It's still a little empty in places that I don't like. Maybe a courtyard or something for the build. Yeah, maybe. I guess that's kind of what this could be. I don't know. Well, actually, no. This is more of a courtyard up here. So, I don't know. Down here, since this was all originally underwater, I decided to make it an aquarium. Maybe I could have something aquarium related. I don't know. I'll have to give that a good hard think. But oh well, you gotta sleep, I gotta sleep, everybody's gotta sleep. That's how it is. How's my night been? Oh, it's been great, Farsk. Pushing it up today instead of casual. Yeah. Life has been pretty good. I can't deny. But yeah, that's going to do it for me for the evening. I'm going to shove on off. Get something to eat. Go to bed. Stomach's killing me. I'll do a sort of flyby tour real quick. Oh wow, you can really see the sheep have gone to town on the grass. I will fix that. I can stay in spectator mode to do it. Right here, pause 1. Pause 2. Oh, no. Let's go back a little bit. No, wait, no, that's fine. Yeah. Replace dirt with grass blocks. And there we go. All regenerated. Or it was. Okay, I bet my selection was off. There we go. Now it's fixed it. Hopefully that didn't interfere with anything in here. Okay. Oh, I still have crop growth from that time I replaced all the crops that I broke. Poop. Oh, come to think of it. Since 1.17's dropped, I haven't incorporated any new blocks into the central pillar. Huh. I'm gonna have to give this place a good looking over. Because, like, I added chains everywhere when that was brand new. Polished blackstone walls, soul lanterns. Like, I loved going and adding tiny little bits, you know, crying obsidian. Just small stuff that I thought would help give the place something of a facelift, you know? These crops. Don't grow your crops with World Edit, folks. Or don't plant your crops with World Edit. They don't adhere to the laws of physics sometimes. But yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely going to give this place a look over. Good look-see to see where I want to put newer 1.17. Because see, things like candles, for example. Like white candles would go great here. It's just a matter of where do I want to put it. Since this is an organ... Oh, I can't put that on there because this is blocking it. Oh, damn. Maybe some of these little alcoves here. I don't know. I might put something to hold the candles because it seems weird to have a bunch of candles on the ground. I don't know. When you were so rich, you put netherite armor everywhere like it's nothing. I know, right? That's the point. A mechanic shop. Ooh, that's a good idea, eBay. Thank you. I'll see you, definitive or diluted water. All right, see y'all on Monday. Yeah, yeah. Lightning rod looks cool. I might get that. I don't know. Did the plants corrupt upside down stairs? I don't think so. Upside down stairs. The plants aren't corrupted. No. These were always here, if I recall. Nothing's changed here. But yeah, it's all... Oh, excuse me. It's all good. We will spice this place up and make it 117 friendly. Oh, fuck. That feel when you debug a stair inadvertently. Oh yeah, and also, when you add more candles to a bundle, they all light simultaneously. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I might also use the amethyst clusters to put a little hint of decoration here and there. I don't know. It's a lot of crazy little decorative things you can do. So yeah. Y'all take care. See y'all Monday morning. Well, it'll be morning for me. Some of y'all might be different, but that's how it is. I'll post the new schedule tomorrow. And yeah. Should be another fine week. Have a good one. Thank y'all for coming out. Thank y'all to those who donated. Love you all. Take care. Stay safe.